Okay, and I'll just cut me off. There we go. Right, I'll just wait for some of you to join when I was chatting. There we go. I saved it to my story, so I'm assuming that I've saved the video. So, yeah. Yeah, Charlene messaged me saying it's locked off, you need to start again. I've started it, so hopefully so I did save. Yes, well, it just said, yeah, save it. I mean, it just said save to your story, so I hope it is there. Save it. It's so good to see like lots of people on here. I mean, like some of the names I don't know, but I'm sure just, yeah, different names there, but you know, like, thank you all for joining this. Like, this is really this is quite something, you know. Stop asking the man. It's done. So Umpo's on here. Like, she was gosh, Umpo, she came, like, I think that was probably like one of the first time I met Umpo. Obviously, like, Chris had worked with her. I think Chris did an amazing track with her in the 90s. She was just part of the crew, like, going back before I started working with Ty. So so she came through, and yeah, so me and Ty were working on this track, and I wonder if I just play it off the vinyl, right? Because it just sounds so much better, right? Where is it? Let's find it. And yeah, we were working on this this sample. I think it was a Chick Corea sample, actually. I'm not giving stuff away here. No, I think we did clear it. Where is it? There we go. Give me a tick, guys. Give me a tick. And she just came and did this, like, this an amazing intro, which we kind of put for like a vocoder. So yeah, anyway, check it out. You guys know this. It's a favourite.
No, it's not cool. You don't want to talk. You just want to talk at me. You don't want to listen. Nah, that's not right. You're just talking at me. You're not trying to hear what I'm saying. You're not trying to feel what I'm feeling. You don't even know how it's felt for me all along. Yes, we have problems, not you. We have problems. We need to talk about it.
Another favourite.
You're not trying to hear what I'm saying. You're not trying to feel what I'm feeling. You don't even know how it's felt for me all along. Yes, we have problems, not you. We have problems. We need to talk about it.
stress must have killed the fun. Black dots on A4, trying to make a mark wrapped up in the bullshit. Using my spark for you, I ain't saying that I'm not to blame, but you act like it doesn't take two to tango. If you don't speak up, then how can a man know? Wrongs and rights make left and right turns. Down a alley that just might burn. That's a lesson I just might learn without the lonely heartburn. Please don't let me start and take your trophy. Stop messing with my heart and pulling my leg. Once you was cool, just chilling in bed. Now you're always upset, shaking your head, yelling like a banshee, waking the dead. Come on, baby. Wait a minute, we got some problems. Wait a minute, let's think this through. Got some issues we need to deal with. For the line, your life's not cool. Wait a minute, we got some problems. Wait a minute, let's sort this out. Got some issues we need to deal with. Wait a minute, we're falling out. I made music when I met you, and now it's a problem. Quality time, the issue that I'm so well aware of. What do we go from here, love? Answer the call. Got me stressed out, big time, staring at walls. Friends phone and I'm like, yeah, everything's lovely. But they hear it in my voice, telling me not to worry. Go abroad, go away, do something, just move. I'm like, yeah, I hear you, but I'm not in the mood. Yeah, we argued before, but this don't feel good. Said something that's really been misunderstood. In the heat of the moment, our words become concrete. Barriers between me and you being clean. Nearly, I maybe, but it wasn't to be. Clearly, you see a future and it isn't with me. What was once a comfortable catastrophe is no longer a friendship. Does it have to be this? Wait a minute, we got some problems. Wait a minute, let's think this through. Got some issues we need to deal with. For the line, but that's not cool. Wait a minute, we got some problems. Wait a minute, let's sort this out. Got some issues we need to deal with. Wait a minute, we're falling down. Wait a minute. 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 Wait a minute.
Wow. Yeah, so wait a minute. Another one of those kind of like just, you know, in the moment songs. We had the vibe, and it was just kind of spontaneous, you know. And you know, when we were doing Upwards, you know, like we were playing little bits to people at the time, and people were like, damn, you guys are onto something. Like this is going to be big. And we were like, yeah, okay, all right, we'll just crack on. And you know, it was just, yeah, it was just like, you know, the whole album was quite free, and we were just, you know, bringing loads of musicians down, and people were, you know, just kind of blessing us with, you know, their talents. And yeah, it was really good. So another track that you know, that I really enjoyed doing is Groovement. And I'm just going to play it from here because it's kind of ready. Yeah, you know, like Groovement was one of those songs where, you know, we had, I think we had that was like Haha and Wait a Minute were kind of done on my MPC. Groovement was like kind of something Ty was toying with on, you know, just like, it was literally a kind of, you know, it was this kind of like loop in the background. So, you know, I was like, okay, yeah, let's try this. And I sort of programmed and it ended up being like a kind of broken beat thing. So it was kind of us, kind of like, you know, hats off to the kind of broken beat scene at the time, which was obviously, you know, which was, you know, back then it was just like, you know, it was this amazing kind of music coming out of that kind of West London scene, you know. So so Groovement was our kind of version of it, if you like. And here we go.
And wrap it off. Outfit's head with lyrics and slowly snap them off. Lyrics like a corner, got to see them to crack them off. If they calling in the morning, no West baby, just back them off. Music on my mind, MPC, just tap them off. Snakes in the garden, if I catch them, I slap them off. Vibe is stupendous, what to drew to track them off. Write it down and produce it, distribute it and rack them off. How's that? Rock the house and leave only debris. Loud that. Teleported to another degree. Too many bunny rubbles having a bubble, talking that trouble when they really need to move on the double with me. What's that?
Bembe Segway is the singer on this. Yeah, oh gosh, like I could just, there's a part 2 to that. Yeah, Bembe, Bembe Segway blessed us with the vocals on that track, and like music to fly to. Someone's just mentioned, like that's actually another one on my list. Just from Ty's kind of poetry side of things, and his look at life at the time. But yeah, had mad fun doing Groovement. I just that for me was all about, right, we had the groove and that's it. I'm just going to play Moog bass right through the whole track, and gosh, it was like, it took days to edit because it was just like a long jam over about probably 15 minutes, and I think that's why we kind of condensed the song down to like 2 parts. I think it's about 10 minutes, the original. So it was kind of like, yeah, you know what, Drew? Yeah, we're just we'll put a string section in there, and we're gonna put this section in there, and we're gonna just just let it be what it is. It's people, and people, yeah, it's a classic, as people say. It was just one of those songs that was kind of loved on the dance floor, and it was good. It was a good DJ tune as well. Thanks, man. You love the stories. Yeah, I hope I hope I'm not talking too much, or if I'm just if I need to just get on with the music. But I kind of feel like I need to kind of you know, tell a little bit of the story behind it, really, because, you know, I think it's important for, you know, to kind of know a little bit about behind Ty's legacy, you know. That said, I think we should play something else. So next on my list is another song from Upwards. I mean, gosh, there's just so many tracks, you know. There's such a catalogue, and you know, whether I get through it before the hour's up, you know, I don't know. If I keep cutting them, maybe, but I just, you know, maybe I'll just do a part 2. Anyway, here we go. Another one of my favourites is called I Want To.
On the corner singing I'm heavy. Who's hating my guts, but I'm rock steady. Try and handle my spot, but you're not ready. Don't tell it to the mountains, tell it to the bridges. Thank the Lord, even though I'm not religious. Thank me for making the most I'm prestigious. Took it away from these gold figures. Ha! There's not a crew, I'm not as big as with you. Really been trained to only hear certain figures, so I...
Alright, an early wheel up that's been requested private on a private message, but hey, you know. Here we go. This is your joint. On the corner singing I'm heavy. Who's hating my guts, but I'm rock steady. Try and handle my spot, but you're not ready. Don't tell it to the mountains, tell it to the bridges. Thank the Lord, even though I'm not religious. Thank me for making the most I'm prestigious. Took it away from these gold figures. Ha! There's not a crew, I'm not as big as with you. Really been trained to only hear certain figures, so I get inside your head with the poetry. Don't need a name check to know it's me. I'm hopelessly head over heels in it. Mass appeal limits, look how I deal with it. Plans to expand and explore, and no longer waiting on next door. Kill it, 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 kill it. Get rich, not broke, bust jokes, brush strokes with the rest. Do my best, God willing. Maybe reinvent some penicillin in a city rap. You got to vent how I'm feeling. Make moves get blocked when I'm trying to touch the ceiling. You can duplicate it, but you can't touch the feeling when real vibes come on through. Sky high vision, not according to you. I see what you're trying to do, and in the intermission, I'll be frying your crew. You can't replace the ace with sight. Tight words, face to face. Separate them, nitty and gritty and stay firm. Streety polity committees can burn as far as I'm concerned. We electronically charge you. Burn skin, leave you with new flesh like part 2. Readdress the balance of talent and screws. Oh, we challenging you. We challenging you. Kill it. 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 Kill it.
evidence, packaging weak vibes to strong children. Think for a moment, okay? Suicide like music ain't going my way. Damaged goods can't help, better throw it away. And I break bread with local legends. Smash it down, electronics, no time's they're headed. Urban, re-up to what you're getting. Soul food for the mind with no compression. Don't worry about a thing, I run the session. Don't worry about a thing, the new progression. The new progression, 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 the new
Yeah, so I'm just going to play it in the background actually. Yeah, a few questions come through actually, like who programmed the drums. For me, it sounds like Ty kind of, you know, like did the initial idea. You know, I definitely feel like that's a kind of Ty beat. It's definitely his style, and you know, it's like whenever Ty would kind of come up with an idea, sometimes the quantize was off and it wasn't kind of perfectly in time, and if it needed like a bit of tweaking, then I would tweak it. If not, it was like, no, we just run with that. And you know, Michel Escoffrey is on that, I believe, and a guy called Jean Dari, I think that's how we say his name. It was such a long time ago. We're talking like 16 years ago now. 17 years actually. It was 2003. Big up to Michel Escoffrey. She was, you know, one person I met around that time, and you know, yeah, another magic tune, you know. So yeah, we need everyone saying Eska. And someone said, did Big Dada give Ty like full creative control? You know what? I whether they did or not, Ty just was like, I'm gonna do what I want anyway, you know. And if you guys run with it, great. If you don't, then it's just how it is, you know. So you know, I think, you know, Ty being kind of, you know, Mr. Awkward at times. You know, he would just do what he wanted to. You know, he had a vision, and you know, and Eska is on. Esky, yep. Oh, God bless you. So glad you're here. Yeah. So yeah. So you know, Ty wanted that kind of creative freedom. And yeah, he poured that into Upwards. You know, it was quite you know, it was a time where we obviously experimented a lot, and you know, Awkward was definitely, you know, kind of set the tone for that, because you know, there was a lot of tracks on there, and it was like kind of live keys, and you know, I know a lot of the guys from you know, Lyrical Lounge and the other jam that Ty used to host. All the musicians that were, you know, a lot of the musicians on Awkward were part of Awkward. So yeah, it was nice to kind of hear that kind of musicality in hip hop. I don't remember too many people doing that, you know. Yeah, Apricot Jam, that's right, Apricot Jam, thanks. I did mention that earlier, I just completely forgot. But yeah, I you know, I remember seeing, you know, going to Apricot Jam thinking, gosh, I do play the drums, you know, I wish I could be in that position of kind of making that kind of live hip hop sound. I loved it. It was brilliant. So so it was nice to kind of, you know, so I incorporated that kind of live sound into stuff that I was doing at the time. But you know, with Upwards, it was pretty much, you know, right, this is us. We're gonna do what what we love to do. We're gonna listen to, we're gonna look at the back of all these kind of records that we were sampling and just kind of see what keyboards were at the that were being played, and then Ty would walk in and say, oh, I bought a Micro Moog, or a Korg this, or just loads of keyboards that came out. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking, right? Because who wants more? You want more? Okay, all right. So excuse the pun.
Intend to eat vultures. Others like to whisper on the street and up, but don't possess the stamina to keep it rough. Can't relate to ice on the wrist though. Got love for my life and my sis soul. Till the sky goes purple and the clouds go black. I'll be slipping customs like a diplomat. Sometimes I have to cry like an aristocrat. Stop trying to compare me to this other chap. Flat, broke, but benevolent. Walking with some very big elephants. Some people get impressed with how I'm ripping it. Jump back and kiss my fucking birth certificate. Oh, you want more? We got plenty more. Come with more plus twist than 24. Oh, you want more? Oh, you want more? Let's appreciate it. Oh, you want more? Oh, you want more? Licks. Oh, you want more? Oh, you want more? Let's appreciate it. Oh, you want more? Oh, you want more? Licks.
All right, so I've got to pull up that and drop the remix if it's going to play. Sorry, I couldn't line that up properly.
We all rhyme from rhyme's sake, with verb correlate. Watch me as I navigate high to mind state. I hate to hate, but find myself hating. Really can't participate with the rest of those invaders. My level hair, rebel hair. On some other gear, ever so talwa. Tough back lover, squatting out the lover. Keeping it warm up, quiet slow. Ghost writing for folks fighting to be the nicest. Black gold in the hour of chaos are priceless. I guess you think the rapper's just a hologram. More bling, please refreeze the ball back. I think I need a hammer just to grip the ceiling. Caught up in this bubble like a lady dreaming. I may be feeling trouble like a baby screaming. Can't get no satisfaction, every day be scheming. Oh, you want more? You're just swinging your hips now. So you want more? Come girl, just give me a kiss now. Oh, you want more? Big tunes now, big kiss now. So you want more? Legs, boom, but all we did now. Switching up the picture just a little bit. Who could it be? I'm on some Smith. Reel it, rejig, refix now. String off, full of sound, what's it now? More sweat, more depth, more greed. No pork, no grits, no beef. More peace, more love, more joy. Ruby nose, chapter, that's McCoy. We rock mics with hot spice, we up out. When the manager got knocked out. Hot skip your tragedy, hot skip formality. Run up with some origin reality. You used to snigger and you're feeling the burning. Sounding stiff like your first name was Herman. T.Y. already stepping on vermin. I'm in the dance, now baby love what's occurring. Oh, you want more? You're just swinging your hips now. So you want more? Come girl, just give me a kiss now. Oh, you want more? Big tunes now, big hits now. So you want more? Legs, boom, but I'm with you now. Yeah. So refix the thing.
Yeah, so I know a few people said just wheel up, but hey, look, I played a part of the original, part of the remix. Hey, you can always play it after. But so a couple of people have kind of messaged me like how did the remix come about? Well, let me tell you about the original. So the original, we were obviously just digging and looking for samples, and Ty pulls out this it was like a fairground record. I'm like, what's this? It's like something he just pulled out of some, you know, charity shop. And he's playing it, and you know, he's playing some really mad kind of organ thing, as you heard in the sample, and then all you hear is, and I'm like, quick, but that's it in the MPC, boom, you know, and that, you know, another kind of spontaneous, and you know, we kind of, you know, like all the tracks that we, Ty's definitely looking down, smiling, with a cup of tea, or he's kind of like, do you like my Thai sunglasses? I actually, a friend of mine made these in Berlin. He works for a sunglasses company, and I really like them, but they kind of, you know, they remind me, they're definitely a kind of Thai style glasses, right? So that classic kind of like, anyway, back to the story. Yeah, that's, you know, it was another kind of spontaneous song. It was a sample, beat in the MPC, bass line. That was it. Ties right into it, and we have the tune. So yeah, we had this kind of like idea to kind of remix it and get Roots Manuva on it, and which was great. You know, both of us being fans of Roots as well, and him being on this, you know, a label mate. I was, you know, kind of at home, kind of looking through some samples, and I had some, you know, I took some samples that Ty had left at the studio, and I found this this kind of like Indian kind of Hindi track, and found that sample. So I just literally sampled it, made the initial beat, took it to Ty. He was like, that's it, and then we worked on it together, you know. And all the ideas, that whether he started it or I started it, it was always teamwork, you know. That's just how we did it, you know. It was some tracks, you know, you can hear like later on in the story, like Ty was a lot more involved in the initial idea, the initial concept, the beat, you know, and you know, he really kind of like, you know, throughout the years, he kind of, you know, he kind of like, he really strived to get that kind of a producer's title. And yeah, exactly, Shorty, yeah, bouncing off each other, indeed. But, you know, like people, like fans or people who buy the records, or the CD or whatever it was at the time, you know, like people kind of saw, oh, Ty's a rapper, he's written the songs. Right, okay, so it must be, who's this guy Drew who does all the, you know, he's programming, he's playing keys, he's playing bass, he's doing this, he's doing that. Oh, so it must be that Drew makes all the music. And, you know, I didn't really kind of pay too much attention at the time. I was just not, you know, kind of really aware, you know. And I know Ty would sort of mention, yeah, people kind of think you do it, you know. And I'm like, yeah, all right. So, you know, throughout the years, I kind of, you know, I kind of made it clear that actually it is all about teamwork. And I've always been all about teamwork. Whenever I work with anyone, you'll know that, you know, I'm not, you know, I've got no problems about stepping back and letting someone else come in and play the parts. I'm not precious at all. And that's just how I've, you know, that's just how I work, you know. And yeah, just, you know, and it was just the partnership that I had with Ty was just absolute magic. You know, it was never perfect. Like sometimes, you know, it was, you know, we'd go through our periods of, you know, kind of not meeting up, or for whatever reason, not you know, no kind of bad vibes or anything, but just, you know, Ty would be in his own space and just doing that, and I'd be in a, you know, position where I need to kind of generate work for the studio and keep the studio going. I mean, I've been here like after 19 years, so, and I had to kind of work hard to do that. So yeah, so unfortunately, you know, like kind of moving on from upwards, there, you know, there was no longer that kind of slightly bigger budget, or, you know, to kind of work on music as you know. We you know, like Closer was definitely a departure. Like like Ty was very like, I don't want to do another Upwards, you know, which is fair enough. You kind of want to kind of push what you're doing to the next. Yeah, exactly. Nothing on earth is ever perfect, but Ty was just going to do his own thing, so he just wanted to kind of do something different from Upwards. You know, it still had the flavour, but it was different. You know, and again, there's some magic moments on there. But there was one more track that I just wanted to kind of play from Upwards. You know, just to close that kind of part of the story. And yeah, someone saying Upwards was my favourite. Yeah, it is for a lot of people. It is for a lot of people, and it definitely reflects, how we started working, and our relationship as as a kind of production duo, kind of working on Magic, because it was very spontaneous, without kind of thinking about it too hard, Closer, we were like, all right, okay, how are we going to follow up with this more Mercury nominated album, so we just did the best we could, and that's all you can do, right? So yeah, one more track I want to play from Upwards is Music to Fly To, and it's it's basically, I think, I'm not quite sure how the song came about, but I think Ty wanted to tone it down. He wanted to do something and just kind of just talk rather than just attack the beat all the time, so I did this live thing on the drums, and yeah, we got Jason Yard on the horns, I think that was the first time. There were some other bits he did on the album, but that throughout the album, that was the first time we worked with, that I worked with Jason Yard, and absolute pleasure. Like, he was like, I think he did most of those horns at Eric's studio, which I think Eric, you probably still got, right? I'm pretty sure. I think we came down a few times, but he just, gosh, like the tracks and what he did for that album and on the horns was just magic. And you know what? I know Ty. Thank you, Quadro, my brother. Bless you, bro. Quadro, by the way, is my business partner. He actually, the voice in Haha is Quadro. That's who's doing the chorus. So big up to my boy Quadro. Yeah, Eric. Like this. Yeah, the studio that Eric and Jason used to share. That's where all the horns were done for this album, and it was magic. We just got them back, and we were just like, oh man, you really took it there. Anyway, I'm gonna play. Someone's trying to walk in. Your brother. Oh, brother. Brother. I'm diving into it. I know, bro. I know, brother. Come in, sit down. Oh, bro. It's okay, brother. It's okay. I got you, bro. Bro. It's okay. Alright? Come. It's okay. Oh, this is my brother, Quadro. He's my business partner of 19-20 years, and this is the first time I've seen him, and he's grieving really hard, guys. Yeah, he's just come in. I need to just show him that love, so Quad, man,
Very well done, man. That's what I can say.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Ty's my little big brother.
Yeah.
I love that guy, man.
Oh, man.
I'm devastated.
Oh, bro.
I'm devastated.
Yeah, man.
I've known him since I've been 17.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh,
anyway, blessings, everybody.
Blessings.
Much love, Let's keep on going strong.
You know, Quadri's been there for like, you know, day one. Day one, Quadri's been there. We've been through it all together. You know, yeah, you know, Quadri's my brother. You know, yeah, everyone's sending you love, bro.
It's love, man.
It's love, man.
I love Ty.
Yeah.
I love him.
Is there something playing outside?
Oh, it's my phone.
Right.
Listen to it. I've been outside trying to get trying to be brave to come in here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Shit.
So, oh man. So look, guys. I'm gonna play this next track. Right. It's music to fly to, and it just sums up where Ty was at the time. You know, with you know, his thoughts on, you know, on yeah, just that time. You know, I'm just gonna play it. Stop rabbiting on.
Yeah. Turn the lights down here. It was a bittersweet, cold English evening. Autumn leaves danced in between the fingers and thumbs of the city. Traffic jolted along, reluctant as ever. The city's architecture was silent as people passed through it, waiting for nightfall to resume so that they could continue conversations that were always interrupted by dawn. Tempers flared. Tempers bubbled over into slight scuffles that were swept up by the fear of police interruptions or interventions. In the inner city, people are busy being into what they're into, be it the type of look, type of gang, or type of colleague, or kind of music. The news informs most people that they are safe from harm because Big Daddy institution would always make them feel more comfortable than others. Below me, mice congregate and patiently wait for me to turn off the lights or leave the house so that they can continue their Krypton Factor-like game show activity in and around my living room. In and around my premises. The premise I don't even own, I only rent. Takeaways offer you food, cooked without love or consideration. Takeaways offer you food at a standard that they wouldn't accept for themselves or their families. Adverts constantly remind me that it's in my best interest to purchase something I may never really need. A Hoover with golf clubs, please. Voyeuristic game shows prepare me for what will soon be us. Big brother. How you like me now? Past and present governments begin to look and sound the same. People die, babies are born. Emotions rage against hormones and blood vessels, and I watch with amusement as my body becomes even more bitter at the world as I grow older. September the 11th. All of a sudden, people are paying attention to a problem that didn't begin on the 10th. The phrase, nobody's perfect, is an understatement. Nothing was ever meant to be. The world exists. And even as I write, I'm as guilty as the next. As an artist, as a performer. Because I have a platform to share blunt thoughts. But I don't. All I want you to do is buy my album. I want you to think I'm better than the next. When truly, I can't see 5 years ahead from now. Most people love, some people don't. Some love animals more than they love people. Some people just want to be treated equal. But the older I grow, the more I realize this is never actually meant to happen. The globe's smaller than I realize. And I think it's time for me to start looking in the real eyes. My dad said, son, you're not supposed to win. When you understand that, you understand everything. You're not supposed to win. You were never supposed to win. So win everything. Winning as I always do, I intend to give
Oh, you know, I had to play that song from like start to finish because you know, like, you know, I know people were saying like it's really, you know, it's so nice. It's nice to, you know, to hear Ty's voice, you know, like just like his speaking voice, you know. So yeah, you know, some of you said like, you know, like wow, this is therapy, and it really is, and that's exactly what, you know, that's exactly what Solihin's one was like last week. It was just like, you know, I was in a place where I, you know, it was all, like I said, it was all quite fresh, and, you know, I was, you know, like grieving like everyone else, and, you know, and I came on and I was hearing these tracks and I was in, you know, I was in tears, you know, because, but, you know, like there was obviously sadness there, but happiness, because, you know, he's a legend, you know, and we're supposed to be celebrating his life, you know, and you know what, I just want to shout out some people, because like I saw Versatile, like, Versy. You know, yeah, Versy's on here, man. Did I see Blade?
I saw Blade.
Is Blade on here? My goodness, brother, I haven't seen or heard from you for like years. I know you're still there, bro. So really good. Sending you guys love, man. Yeah, indeed, like a celebration. You know, it really is. So, you know, after, you know, so moving on from like, yes, Blade, 691. So, oh man, Blade. There's some history there, and that's probably another live chat. But yeah, gosh, like there's you know, that's, and we've only literally just touched a bit of awkward and upwards. You know, there's so much more. So, you know, without further ado, I'm gonna play some stuff off of Closer. And yeah, thank you. Lots of shout outs, which is really kind of you guys to do that. You know what, I'm gonna play, like, because around that time, right, we did you know, we did some work with people that some of it surfaced, some of it didn't, and you know, we like one track that I believe this was like this was definitely like a Thai started track that we just, you know, obviously worked on together. It was always a beat that just kind of never made any of the album, you know, I say any of the albums, it never made upwards. And I think it came out, I think we did this in 2006 or something like that. So around the kind of Closer days, but never made Closer. So we just kept it. And so we gave this beat to Joy Jones, and my goodness, she did like an amazing track. Now, most of you wouldn't have heard this. Yeah, I say most of you, like I'm sure there's people out there that would have heard this track. So I'm gonna play it. It's called Supernova. If it plays. absolutely. Like Ty was an amazing producer. Like, you know, like he would come up with these like little beat ideas, and then we would just develop them, you know. And this was just, you know, one of those tracks, you know, that just never, you know, he didn't always want to make music for himself, and that's the thing with Ty. Like, he was quite selfless like that. If you know, if he didn't, you know, if he felt that somebody else kind of wanted the track, or he felt like they would be good for this track, he would, you know, that was it. We just passed it on. And you know, it was lovely working with Joy. And you know, yeah, I mean, just big up Daz IQ. I know you were heavily involved in that album, bro. And you know, like, I've always been a fan of your music and what, you know, what you've done over the years, you know. So yes, people are like, save the live. Definitely want to save that. So I think that's probably telling me that we are coming up to another hour. Definitely save. Yeah, have I missed When I See Love, Liz Fields? You know what? I had it in my list to play, and I've got... Funny you should say that. I know it's going to cut off, and I will save it, right? But it's funny you should say that, because there it is right there. So I can play this. This is another like track that, you know, me and Ty kind of worked on for Liz Fields. Yeah, just sitting, save things. You guys. Yeah, so there's the Liz Field. Maybe I'll just give you a little snippet of that while we wait for this to kind of run out. And I really hope that it's saved. If it doesn't save, I'll just do it again. You know. No, I'm not. Gosh. So let's play this. This is Liz Fields. When I see Love, and this is Ty and Drew's Lizzie's Children remix. So we kind of came up with his name because Ty's mother is Elizabeth, and my mum was Elizabeth. So he was like, Lizzie's Children. I'm like, that's it. So yeah. Let me play this. I'm going to continue this, guys, because I can see like a lot of people are enjoying this. So continue with at the Lab Studios UK, and yes, I will save the ting. Definitely saving the ting, man. Natalie Williams, there you are, babes. You all right? yeah, so here we go.